Welcome to the Saturday Sports Line. Since 1969, the premier sports show about local high school sports, featuring coaches, players, and special guests. Now, here is your host of the Saturday Sports Line, Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI Sports Director, Mitch Columbi, and sports analyst, Chris McGowan.
And that will be the end of the ball game. The North Judson-San Lady Blue Jays hold out and beat the Culver Lady Cavaliers 29-21 in the sectional 51 semifinal round. The Jays will be in the championship game yet again, this time against Adcock Christian tomorrow night. And a good Saturday morning to you here on the Saturday Sports Line. 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central, wherever you are. This is your wake-up call for the longest-running high school sports show in Indiana, thanks to our very own Harold Welter. You heard the call, the final right there. The North Judson-San Lady Blue Jays end up beating the Culver Lady Cavaliers last night, 29-21. They advance to the sectional championship round tonight to face off against Adcock Christian. We welcome in our sports analyst, Chris McGowan. Chris, you were there last night. What a game it was.
Yeah, it was a game. I tell you what, good defensive battle last night, and North Judson just had enough in the tank to pull out the victory.
They will be in the championship round tonight, and then the Knox Lady Redskins are able to pick up a big win last night in semifinal action over Career Academy 58-18. The Lady Redskins are in a championship round tonight, Chris. So congratulations to the Knox Lady Redskins. You talk about their season, how much of a struggle it's been, but then to find themselves in the championship round, you got to feel happy for them.
Oh, yeah, I mean, because you stress all year. You want to be playing your best basketball at the end of the season come tournament time, and, Knox has strung together 2 wins and put themselves in a position, anything can happen on any given night. So put yourselves in a position to win a championship.
We will talk to both of our girls' area coaches still in it. That's James Adcock of Knox here in this hour, and then in the second hour, we will talk with Whitney Combs of the Lady Jays. We'll transition, though, to boys basketball and talk North Judson-San Pierre Blue Jay boys basketball with head coach Kent Chezem. Good morning, Coach. Good to have you on the line.
Good morning.
Well, hey, let's talk. Since we've last seen each other, like you had said last Saturday, really not much had happened, but here we are 2 weeks later. Tough loss to Pioneer. You picked up a win against Trinity Greenlawn, though, on the 4th. But then Triton as well. So you've been in some battles since we last spoke. Last time we talked, we were preparing for that Knox game. Of course, you won 54-50. That was a different game than we had anticipated. Of course, the first time was different. But catch us up on some ball that you're seeing from your Jays.
Yeah, last week we played Triton on Saturday at home, and I thought for about 3.5 quarters we played pretty well. That's a team that was like 12-3 coming into our gym. We had the ball and went down 6 with about 3.5 minutes to go. Missed a wide open layup off an out of bounds play, and they are a really experienced team, and they did a great job of finishing the game. They kind of spread us out and got some layups, and we missed some shots, and ended up being a 15 or 16 point deficit at the end. But we really played pretty well against a really formidable opponent. Then came back on Tuesday in a game that we scheduled with a sectional opponent, Trinity Greenlawn, who plays a really, really good zone defense. And that was one of the reasons I wanted to play him, that and them being a sectional opponent as well. And probably had our best offensive night. We really shot the ball well, ended up winning that game by 30 and got some great play from some of our younger guys. Christian Ingram's really been playing well for us, scoring the basketball. Eli Radke has been doing that quite a bit for us second semester as well. So got some good minutes from them. And then, we went over to Pioneer on Thursday and kind of forgot to get off the bus, got down 16-2 to start the first quarter and didn't look good for us. But, with 2 minutes to go, we had a wide open 3 that would have given us the lead. So, we're playing some good basketball at times. We're just not as consistent as I would like us to be.
I was just sitting here thinking as you were talking, if I could sum it up in one word, it'd be consistency. And right now you guys are trying to find that.
Yeah, and it's been tough. I think a byproduct of us playing 9 guys is not knowing which guys are going to be playing the best on a certain night. And, we've got some really good players, and there's really not much difference between any of the 9. And some nights are better for others for certain guys, and we're trying to work through that. Here we've had 14, 15 games, and we've had 6 or 7 different leading scorers. I've rearranged my starting lineup more than I ever have in my career. Every guy in our 9-man rotation has made multiple starts. We're still just kind of looking for that perfect combination.
You talk about getting things rolling in the right direction in terms of consistency. What are some things that you're kind of trying to figure out? Like you said, it's kind of been a crazy season. You're figuring out different scenarios of starting different individuals. What are all the things that you're trying to do? I'm sure as a head coach, you're kind of scratching your head thinking, what can I do here? What can I do there? And then basing it off the film that you watch. I know you see Boone Grove here this afternoon. We'll talk about them in a minute. But talk about, as the coaching staff, some of the conversations you're having behind closed doors, anything you can share with us.
Well, I think our biggest issue right now is consistently scoring the basketball. Defensively, we've been pretty solid. We've got some length and some athleticism, and technically we're not always the best, but our guys compete, and we've guarded people pretty well. Here we gave up 16 points in the first quarter against Pioneer, and then we hold them to 2 in the second quarter, and got ourselves back in the basketball game on the defensive end. So offensively, I think scoring the basketball, getting good shots with the right guys. I mentioned Eli Radke and Christian Ingram, 2 guys that, they've probably been our most consistent shooters here in the last 7-8 games. And I don't think there's any, I think it's because they spend so much time in the gym. If you had to say, hey, who are your guys are the rats, those 2 guys are in the gym all the time. I haven't really talked about this much, but, Eli Radke, he made 30,000 shots this summer on the gun.
Wow.
And he really spent a lot of time doing that. He was a guy who was a really good JV player last year for us as a freshman, but he was not a three-point shooter. And here he's been one of our best and most consistent three-point shooters here this year. So he's really changed his game. Christian has done that as well. He spends a lot of time in the gym shooting and playing one-on-one, and just always in the gym working on his game. So if we get a little more consistency from some other guys, I think it would really help.
Yeah, you talk about, Pioneer last night, you hold them to 34 points, or Thursday night, you hold them to 34 points. That's a heck of a defensive effort. You expect to come away with the win when you put forth that defensive effort.
Yeah, well, we gave up 16 in the first quarter.
Right, yeah, that's what you said. Yeah.
So for 3 quarters, I felt really good about our defense, and we had some open shots. That they defensively, they're pretty solid. They play a zone, and they're pretty athletic, and they cover some things up quickly. But again, we're still turning the ball over too much. We were well into double figures again in turnovers, and if we're giving up opportunities to get shots, it's going to make it difficult for us to score.
You see Boone Grove tonight. You're hosting, or this afternoon. I'm here in just a few hours. You see Boone Grove this afternoon. You're hosting that in the Nest. What have you learned about Boone Grove? Pretty
athletic group. On the perimeter, they've got some guys that can really break you down off the dribble. They shoot the 3 pretty well. They're pretty athletic. Their record is probably not as indicative of how good they are. They play a pretty good schedule, and they've played some good teams close. And they've beaten some teams that we've beaten, and I think it's a pretty even matchup today. So hopefully we'll be ready to go from the start tonight and not have to wait until that second quarter before we get things ramped up.
Yeah, you talk about having a good start, and then also on top of that, 20 days left. Your last regular season game is February 28th. That's coming up pretty quick here, Coach. You have 7 games left in the 20 days. Talk about this point in the season. This isn't your first rodeo. Where do you like to get your team at, or what do you like to see from your team at this point in the season with 1 month to go?
Well, we heard Chris talking earlier about, wanting to play your best basketball at the end of the year, and we hope to be doing that. I don't think that we're there yet, and we're still a work in progress. But, there's not a whole lot of practice time, and the practices that we do have right now are like one day before the next game. So there's a lot of walkthrough. There's a lot of mental preparation right now, trying to fix some things through film and through walkthroughs on the floor. Not as many repetitions as you get earlier in the year, but our kids like to play, and we're playing a lot of games in these last 20 days, and I expect us to be playing pretty well come March.
Hey, you're at a 3-game home stretch right now. You started against Boone Grove, then you'll see Westville on the 11th, Caston on the 14th for some Valentine's Day basketball, and then you'll finish off the season for a 4-game road stretch. Man, that's going to be interesting there, Coach. Ending the season on a road stretch like that, maybe that gets you guys in the swing of things for being on the road postseason.
Well, I hope we get to the road in postseason because we play the sectional at home.
Right.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
That's why I said
I'd
that.
be all for playing and the regional. So I'd all be all for playing on the road again in the tournament.
Well, I'm expecting it, Coach.
But that schedule's tough every other year, right? I mean, last year we finished the season at home with 4 games. So it's just one of those things we'll have to battle through. I think we've actually played better at home than we have on the road. And, I think when you go on the road, you just got to be a little bit tougher. You got to make the extra pass. You got to be a little bit more sound defensively. And I think, we're still a young team. When we play 4 sophomores and we've got 2 juniors who it's their first time to play varsity basketball. So we're pretty young. And then we've got 3 seniors with experience as well. But we're still finding our way.
Let's talk about the Hoosier North Athletic Conference, Coach. You've got 3 more conference games to go this season. It's kind of been an interesting year when you look at it from the conference perspective.
Yeah, it's a lot more teams now with the added schools to the conference. A lot more talent, a lot more diversity in the style of play. North Miami came in and they've got a senior who's a 1,000-point scorer, and I just think. You look at Triton, and they're always good, and they're leading the conference right now. Winamac's got a really good team, and they're probably just a year away from being, one of the top teams in their class. It's good basketball. The HNAC is a tough conference. It's one of the better small school conferences around. I keep pointing back to last year. Here we finished second to last in the conference last year, but we won the regional and ended up in the semi-state. So there's some quality coaches, quality teams, and a lot of great players.
Coach, you talk about tonight, and with the fans listening, what's something that you're going to be harping on to your boys come game time here this afternoon? I keep saying tonight, this afternoon. The tip-off's at 12:30 Central from what I'm seeing. What's something that you're going to be talking to your boys about? It's an early game, not very many of these throughout the season, so what's something you're going to be telling them? I'm guessing you're going to have shoot-around here soon. Yeah,
we got to shoot around here a little bit this morning, and I like this afternoon start. Kind of takes me back to my college days when the Saturday afternoon games were a lot of fun. But for us on the offensive end today, we just got to limit turnovers. If we can limit turnovers, I think we've got enough quality players on the offensive end that we can score the basketball if we just don't give up our opportunities. And then defensively, I think it's going to be a battle keeping them out of the paint because they attack the paint so well off the dribble. If we can do that, I think that it allows us to rebound better. It allows us to contest more shots and just be a lot more effective on that end.
It'll be a busy day for Blue Jay Nation. They'll come see you in the afternoon, then they'll go see the girls' sectional championship matchup tonight. Man, Coach, you're part of some good history here at North Judson. They sure do come out and support you guys.
They do, and we've had a good run here. The girls' basketball team has won a regional since I've been here, and we've won one. And the football team's had a lot of success, and we've had some kids advance in some other sports individually. We've had a pretty good run, and we've got great fan support. We've always had good support from our patrons and our community.
I was going to say, the athletics over at North Judson kind of spoiling us here at WKVI. I mean, I'm liking all this traveling I get to do here, in February and March, semi-states, regionals. I love it, Coach. Keep it up.
Yeah, you're the reason why all the other schools hate us. They think we're just Blue Jay fans. They think we're just Blue Jay fans over here, Coach. I tell you, you guys keep winning. We don't get any help over here.
Yeah.
I guess you don't mind that.
No, we don't mind it. We love the sport.
Well, Coach, no, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You hang up first.
We get a lot of support, and you guys do a great job of supporting all the schools. It's a tough job because when you're at one school one night, you're not at somebody else's, and they feel slighted. But I think it's pretty balanced. You guys, you guys are fair and balanced. I think there's another news organization that claims to be that, but you guys are that at WKVI.
Well, I know we're doing it right when I hear as many complaints from all the other schools as everybody else. So that means we're doing it right.
That's right.
If I could split myself 8 different ways, I would. Trust me, I would.
I have to work on cloning. I don't know if we need that many 8.
We should get cloned.
I don't know if we need 8 Mitches around.
I don't know if we want 8, not even 2. Well, Coach, thanks so much for your time. Good luck this afternoon against Boone Grove. We hope it's a big-time Blue Jay win.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, that is head coach of the North Judson-San Blue Jays boys basketball team. It is Kent Chezem here on the Saturday Sports Line. We appreciate his time. We're going to take a break and come back. We're going to talk West Central basketball with head coach Brad Odom of the boys team after the break. Kicks it over to Avery Johnson. Johnson skip pass to Kylie Lehigh. Baseline, finds space off the glass. 2-0 Jays lead early here. Almost 2 minutes blow by, and the Jays get on the board first.
And I do believe that we rely on when I lay it on, come get the play it on my lap to sacrifice. Hey, oh, listen what I say.
It's Kalen Tunis, top of the key, kicks it over, shot on the board, pops the 3, splash! 7-0. Shiloh to board.
When will I know that I really can go to the well once more? Time to decide on.
The Stark County Co-op has been a member-owned farm services co-op in Stark County since 1928. That's over 90 years, and they're still providing the same quality agronomy services to the farming community of Stark and surrounding counties. The Stark County Co-op is an LP and fuel provider. The Stark County Co-op purchases grain at both locations, Hamlet and Brems. You can reach them by phone at 1-800-782-3392, the Stark County Co-op.
Stay tuned for more sports talk with Mitch Columbi and Chris McGowan on the longest-running high school sports show in Indiana, the Saturday Sports Line.
At First Farmers Bank and Trust, agriculture has been a cornerstone of our business for more than 135 years. Our personal relationships within the ag community run deep for multiple generations. If you're looking for a financial partner that knows, understands, and supports agriculture, I'd love to hear from you. I'm Isaac Blue, ag banker at First Farmers. Come into our Knox, North Judson, or Culver branches, or visit us online at ffbt.com when you're ready to talk about growing your operation. First Farmers Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal opportunity lender.
You're listening to Mitch Columbi and Chris McGowan on Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
Coke Zero is now Coke Zero Sugar, with great Coke taste. Some people were excited to hear the news. Some were skeptical. So we're not going to have the star of the show you're watching come out and say, "You'll love it." No special jingle written by this week's hottest pop star. No famous internet celebs who happen to be holding the label just so. Okay, maybe just one little pour shot. The only thing that will make you believe Coke Zero Sugar has great Coke taste is trying it yourself. Ice cold Coke Zero Sugar. Try one today.
At First Farmers Bank and Trust, agriculture has been a cornerstone of our business for more than 135 years. Our personal relationships within the ag community run deep for multiple generations. If you're looking for a financial partner that knows, understands, and supports agriculture, I'd love to hear from you. I'm Isaac Blue, ag banker at First Farmers. Come into our Knox, North Judson, or Culver branches, or visit us online at ffbt.com when you're ready to talk about growing your operation. First Farmers Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal opportunity lender.
Let's continue the conversation with area high school coaches and more on the Saturday Sports Line.
Avery Johnson over to Kaylin Tunis, pops the three, splash! 12-2! She's continuing what she did last night, and it's a 10-point lead for the Jays. Back for more from the Pulaski Memorial Hospital studios. This is the Saturday Sports Line. We transition to talk West Central boys basketball with head coach Brad Odom. I've got him on the line. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning, Mitch.
It's good to have you. I'm with Chris McGowan. Man, we saw a great game against the Winamac Warriors a week from yesterday. I know it didn't go your way, Coach, but I said it on the air. That was the loudest atmosphere that I've ever broadcasted in. I've done sectional games. I've done regional and semifinals. That was the loudest broadcast I've ever been a part of. Your Trojan Nation showed up in full force that night. I know, like I said, it didn't go your way, but, man, was it a great game.
Yeah, the atmosphere was great. You know, we did a good job of promoting. You know how important that game was for us. It's just unfortunate we didn't start the game as well as we would have liked. Didn't really get going until the fourth quarter. Made a game of it late, and then came up a little short.
Yeah, I said that as well. You know, if you guys got going in that first quarter, the outcome would have been different because it just kind of felt like you guys were playing from behind.
The whole game, we were behind the whole game. We just. You know, when we executed, we get the look. We just didn't seem to hit it. You know, you're going to have nights like that. But I thought from an energy standpoint, our energy really didn't pick up until late. And then once we got out and pressured and we got the game sped up, that's where we're more comfortable. It just took way too long to get to that point.
Yeah. And the Warriors, I mean, you got to tip your hat to them. I mean, they stayed with it. They were prepared for what you guys were ready to bring. I mean, it's almost like they knew who to look for on defense to really kind of make sure they couldn't get things going.
Yeah, I mean, they do a good job of executing, you know, even in their offensive sets. They do a great job of setting up back cuts and trying to get the ball into the paint. They're not a team that shoots a lot of threes, but they get a lot of mid-range stuff and things at the basket. So they're a hard team to defend. We knew that going in. We just had a difficult time speeding that game up like we really wanted.
Yeah, you talk about it late in the game. No, go ahead, Chris.
No, I was just going to talk. I was going to go back to Thursday night and talk about your game at Frontier. The second time you played them this year, they got you on January 2nd by 12, and then you traveled to Frontier on Thursday, and they got you pretty good. What was the difference between those two games, Coach?
Well, the first game was played in transition almost the entire game. This game was much more physical. And that's not a style that we're real comfortable with. They did a good job of using, you know, their strength advantage. Most of their kids have between probably 20 and 30 pounds of muscle on our kids. So at halftime, we were only down 2. We tried to make some adjustments and come out in the second half, and we just had a heck of a time keeping them off the glass and preventing them from getting second looks. So it ballooned up a little bit, and it looks a lot worse than what it actually was.
Now I'll go back to the Winamac game because I was still asking questions. It's okay. I'm sorry, Coach. I had another question about that Winamac game. You know, the way you guys finished that game, you were down by over 10, I think, and then those 2 big threes late in the game, it really kind of showed us, and it also showed Winamac, I think, man, these guys are going to be dangerous for the future. And it really just kind of, I mean, from the first game of the season, even to that game against Winamac, Coach, that we saw, I saw the growth in this team. You know, Brady Bishop, I mean, he's still very confident, Brendan Grindstaff. And then I really thought that Bryce Naniga, I mean, he is just the leader on this team. You can tell he just puts the team on his back and he's ready to go to work.
Yeah, you know, Bryce has been through more battles than our young backcourt has. And you know, our big guy inside, Christian Hughes, has done a great job. He's almost been a double-double every night since Christmas. So, you know, we have a variety of options, and we just got to find a way to click consistently in some of these big games. You know, we had a great weekend, a double weekend win earlier in January where we knocked off Tri-County and Caston. That hasn't happened here in a long time, and unfortunately, the last few times where we've been in some close games, we haven't found a way to win. But you know, you keep battling and you keep working, and you put yourself in those opportunities, and you hope with a little luck here and there that you can turn the corner.
Yeah, you fall to Winamac, and I wouldn't want to be Knox after a team falls to their cross-county rival, especially in you guys. Man, the Knox Redskins, a big win for you there, 82-50. I'm sure you definitely were trying to brush off the shoulders after that tough loss to Winamac. You wanted to prove to yourselves that wasn't just a loss that you could you wanted to prove to yourselves you were a legit team.
Well, we just talked to our kids about putting their best effort on the floor and causing chaos and getting out in passing lanes and pressuring and forcing turnovers and doing what we needed to do. And they took that to heart. Sometimes you have a big loss and then you have a letdown, and we wanted to try to guard against that. So we went to a lot more aggressive style defense to start that game, and I really thought that it just kind of spiraled from there.
Yeah, it kind of fired you up from the night before. It was it was really back. The next night you were back at it. So really kind of good for you guys to kind of wash the slate after that Winamac game, get back on the grind against Knox, pick up that win, and then like Chris said, a tough loss to Frontier. You are on the road. You're in the middle of a 3-game road trip right now. You head to North Newton tonight. It's a conference battle, Coach. What do you know about them?
Well, I know they've struggled a little bit offensively, and as the season's gone on, they've gotten a lot better on the defensive end. They're a team that I think they've won 2 of their last 3. They knocked off Rensselaer recently, so anytime that you can knock off a Rensselaer for North Newton, as a local team, that's a pretty good win for them. They've been in close games with Faith Christian as well, and we had a pretty good battle with Faith Christian earlier in the year. So they're playing a lot better basketball than what their record looks like. We got to be able to attack their matchup zones. They do a good job of switching up defenses. And, for us to be successful, we got to get our athletes in space and we got to run.
We'll see you on Valentine's Day, Coach, in the historic Tiger Den. You're on the road to take on Tri-Township. I know they've had a tough season, but you've played at Tri-Township before, haven't you?
Yeah, we played there before.
It's always a fun atmosphere at the Tiger Den, a shorter court. The spacing, you can tell when you watch a game there. There is 10 feet less of space, right, Chris?
Yeah, there's the court's only 74 foot long, so 10 foot overall, 5 foot on each side.
So it definitely can create a different game onto the court. What are your thoughts about it?
It just seems like the game could be played so much faster on that floor.
Yeah,
I know that back in the day when we played there, we ran an opening tip where we tipped the ball, turned around, and shot the 3. So and then immediately we were in a full court press. So the court can be played to your advantage if you're athletic and you're long. And instead of a 1 pass 3 dribble get to the rim, it's a 1 pass 1 dribble and you're home. If they're really willing to outlet and go. So, the atmosphere there, because the fans are right on top of you, usually gets really loud. It doesn't even have to be the biggest of crowds to be loud. That place just echoes. So I've always had fun going up there. This will be my first time on the boys' side as a coach. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it is kind of a crackerjack box, that's for sure. But I love it. I miss coaching there just because of the fans being right on top of you, the interactions I used to have with opposing fans while the game was going on, just making it more entertaining. But it is such a great atmosphere, and you guys. The season that you started off, 6 or 7 wins there in a row, and now you're sitting at 10-6. Is this where you expected your team to be at this point in the season?
Yeah, I think so. You talk to the kids about wanting to put yourself in a position to win, and as a coach, that's all you can ask for. You want the opportunity to try to find a way to X and O late. And get a close win if you're in those ball games, and you guys all know that it doesn't always work out that way. And when you start as many young kids as we do, and you play 2 freshmen and 2 sophomores in your top 7 most nights, you're going to have some ups and downs, and growth is never a straight line. So as you have bumps in the road, you go back to work and you figure out how you can fix some of your weaknesses. And you continue to grow and improve and get better, and you hope you're playing your best basketball by the end of the year.
Yeah, that was a great transition, Coach. 20 days left until February 28th. That's your final regular season game of the year. After this 3-game road trip, you'll be on a 3-game homestand and then finish the season off at Lake Station. At this point in time, are you happy with the way your team is playing, like you said, heading into the postseason?
Yeah, I mean, at this point in time, some of our areas of improvement, it's just going to take experience, and you can't get experience unless you're playing. Where we've struggled the most is physicality, and when you've got some 15 and 16-year-old boys on the floor taking to court against some guys that are 18 and 19 years old at times, you're going to get pushed around and shoved. And the only way that you can improve on that is to be able to play in those games, to go through those battles, and then understand, what can we do to offset those things. So I'm pleased with where we're at. I know my kids battle every night. We're going to continue to get better, and then hopefully at the end of the year, we can do something special.
Yeah, Coach, last question here, or maybe we'll talk some more. We'll see how this goes here. But just wanted to ask as well, Jaden Miller, we haven't really talked about him. We've talked about Bryce Danica, Brendan Grindstaff, and Brady Bishop, but I thought Jaden Miller from that game in Winamac, he's a key player for you guys as well. Talk about him and maybe some other players that you're happy with right now.
Jaden brings a mindset. He's a competitor. He's a battler. He gives us an edge that we would lack without Jaden on this team. 2 years ago when I was talking to him about, he was a little conflicted on whether he wanted to play or not because, really he loves the game of football a little more. He's such an aggressive competitor that you need guys like him. So he does a good job of setting the tone on opposing teams' more physical players, especially if they're a guard. So, for example, against Knox, he did a great job against Miles McLaughlin. I didn't have another kid that could try to even keep him out of the lane, and Jaden chested him up and battled hard and kind of set the tone for how physical we wanted to be. And then we have kids like Kate Lehman, who's a freshman, coming in and giving us quality minutes and being able to play a couple of different positions. He's a really good three-point shooter. Landon Hughes, at one point in time, Landon Hughes was averaging about 8 rebounds a game. We need to get him back to where we're getting him on the floor a little bit more than what we have. And as you go down the stretch run, you never know when something might pop up that you've got to deal with, maybe an injury, and you're going to have to rely on your bench to be able to give quality minutes. And that's why it's important in games where you can establish how you want to play. You can get those guys a little bit more time and get them some more confidence because you never know when you're going to have to call somebody else's number.
Message to Trojan Nation here as you head to North Newton tonight in hopes they show up.
Just come out and support the boys. We play a fun brand of basketball, and we're excited to get on the floor every opportunity we get.
Coach, I always appreciate your time and talking with you. Good luck tonight against North Newton. We will see you on Valentine's Day in the historic Tiger Den. I look forward to it.
All right. Thanks, guys.
That is head coach of the West Central Trojans boys basketball team. It is Brad Odom here on the Saturday Sports Line. We appreciate him and his time. Good luck to them against North Newton. We will see them on Friday. Taking a break, coming back, we will talk Winamac Lady Warrior basketball with head coach Tony Stesiak next. Gets rid of it to Amiyah Williams at the free throw line from 15 feet out, and Amiyah Williams gets it to go. They finally get on the board. 12-4 here. First points of this second quarter. 2:20 to go in the first half. To Amiyah Williams, hands off back to the near corner. Ashlyn Barron pops a three, slash! And head coach Whitney Combs will call the timeout. The Cavs are fighting back, baby. 12-9 now, and the Jays have not scored this entire quarter. 1:01 to go in the first half.
The Stark County Co-op has been a member-owned farm services co-op in Stark County since 1928. That's over 90 years, and they're still providing the same quality agronomy services to the farming community of Stark and surrounding counties. The Stark County Co-op is an LP and fuel provider. The Stark County Co-op purchases grain at both locations, Hamlet and Brems. You can reach them by phone at 1-800-782-3392, the Stark County Co-op.
At First Farmers Bank and Trust, agriculture has been a cornerstone of our business for more than 135 years. Our personal relationships within the ag community run deep for multiple generations. If you're looking for a financial partner that knows, understands, and supports agriculture, I'd love to hear from you. I'm Isaac Blue, Ag Banker at First Farmers. Come into our Knox, North Judson, or Culver branches, or visit us online at ffbt.com when you're ready to talk about growing your operation. First Farmers Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal opportunity lender.
You're listening to Mitch Columbi and Chris McGowan on Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
Welcome back to the Saturday Sports Line as we transition to Winamac girls basketball with head coach Tony Stesiak. Tough loss against the Knox Lady Redskins on Tuesday. They were shorthanded, an unfortunate injury to Marissa Iverson, but the Warriors had an amazing season with the adversity they had gone up against all season. So now we bring in head coach Tony Stesiak to button things up on their season. Coach, good morning.
Good morning, Mitch. Button things up.
You like that?
A lot of things were unbuttoned and a little crazy this year.
Yeah, I'd say so.
So if you can button up this season, it's quite a chore. But all jokes aside, nothing but pride for this group.
Yeah, I was going to say, one of those seasons, in all the years you've been coaching, I would venture, I'm going to walk on a very thin limb here and say you probably have never experienced anything like this in your coaching career with the injuries and everything, sickness, and kind of makes it hard to prepare and practice when you don't know what you're going to have, or even for a game what you're going to have.
Yeah, you're right. Never been through anything like this, and I pray to God that, for everybody involved, that we don't have to, or other coaches don't have to experience anything like this. We've had times where maybe we didn't have a lot of players ready to play a varsity season, but we had kids on the bench or on a JV where practice and things like that were fairly normal. But in terms of going into games with literally 5 players available, maybe a 6th one, but not ready for that kind of style of play, and then just managing injuries, illness, all those kinds of things throughout the season. Nothing ever like it. But as tough as that was, the girls that were part of Lady Warrior basketball this year really, really did such an amazing job of handling everything and moving the program forward. I mean, it's a 14-win team that, was knocking on the door, second in a really good HNAC conference, had a chance to win the Kitchen Classic again. Really I thought, as of a couple weeks ago, maybe a team that could get to Saturday night and it would have been fun to see what you do against a Bremen. But the basketball gods had other things planned, and not excuses, but we were fundamentally a different team going into Tuesday night than we were most of the season, and that's a crazy season we went through. But the girls will learn a lot. It's education-based athletics. The girls will learn a lot, and I challenge them, in probably the toughest locker room I've been in a long time. I always think, that locker room at the end of the season is a pretty good indicator of how things went. And it's a group that, even though they battled, were really quiet, and it's a tough group to get a read on all year long. But that's an emotional locker room that I've been in 3 years here at Winamac, and one of the most in my entire career.
Wow.
And I think that's because they poured everything into that. We literally emptied the tank. Coach's cliche, did you give everything you had? That group gave everything they had and then some. And it just wasn't meant to be. Tip your hat to Knox. We knew what kind of game it was going to be. This people might look on the outside and it's a big upset and whatever, and I don't care. Your record is what it is, but we weren't the same team. But they played on their home floor, played really well, and it was a one play game. Like, it was close all the way throughout, and literally one play, we had our chances, but Portland Minix, coach's kid, scoreless the entire game, probably very frustrated, broken play with about under 20 seconds to go, ball finds her and gets just enough of a view of a three and knocks it down. Like, that's, as much as you hate to be on the other side of it, that's the awesome thing about high school sports. Like, one play, one moment, it can be a challenge, but like, it sometimes literally comes down to that. And, you know, the biggest thing looking back from game one to game two is just simply the turnovers. Game one, we only turned it over 4 times against Knox. Like, that's unheard of in any level.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care who you are playing. To turn it over 4 times is a crazy stat, and Knox only scored 3 points off those turnovers, and we won that game. Tuesday night, we had 17 turnovers, and Knox turned that into 16 points. You know, we only give up 36. They got 16 out of 36 off of turnovers, and it wasn't pressure or anything. We just had different players, different places. Everybody was trying to do so much to get us that win that maybe sometimes we were trying to do a little bit too much. It's hard to fault kids that way, though, but we just had those turnovers, and Knox was able to capitalize and take advantage of those. So, tough night, great season is probably how I'd sum it up.
You know, one player that I really felt for this past week was Marissa Iverson. It just felt like she was really coming into her own, and then to deal with that knee injury, man, I sure hope she's going to be okay. Of course, she's just a junior. She'll be coming back for you, Coach. It just seemed like you lose someone like that on the inside that can dominate like she has. Man, that's tough.
Yeah. You know, Marissa Iverson is one of those players. When I first got to Winamac, she was a freshman, and of course you knew about Croft as an incoming freshman, and you knew about like the likes of Maggie Smith and Piper Link. You know, some of those players they kind of told you about, and some of those players stuck out right away that first summer. Marissa Iverson was one that looked athletic. You could tell there was potential, but it was pretty raw, and she's worked really hard. 3-sport athlete, which I love. You know, but sometimes it takes a little bit for her, especially coming straight from volleyball. It takes a few weeks to get into sort of basketball game shape. Now, with our numbers, none of them had the opportunity to just kind of wade themselves into the kids into the pool, and, you know, we had to jump right in with major minutes for everybody. But, you know, she was really coming along the second half of the season and, you know, getting double-double on a nightly basis. And, you know, I think one of the best post players in our area. You know, there's some combo players, but in terms of like a post player back to the basket, get your bucket, get your rebound, it's hard to not appreciate her value. And actually, the game she got hurt against Pioneer, a couple games before, and of course you're looking for anything you can to change, and she had a couple good rebounding games of like 12 and 13, and I just threw out there, I'm like, hey, Riz, like, you realize the single game rebounding market Winamac is 21? And she's like, really? I said, yeah, you had like 13 the other night or 14 in some game, maybe at Delphi at Holiday Tournament. And like, that gave her sort of something to take. She's like, I think you can do that. Like, we don't want to miss a lot of shots, but the way you rebound, like, go get that. And she was really on that. The game she got hurt against Pioneer, she got hurt at the end of the third quarter, very end of the third quarter, like seconds to play. At that point in the game, she had 13 rebounds. Like, she was going for it. Like, she was a driven player. She was a really good player. But when she sort of had that goal to kind of put her name in the record books and also to help her team, because, you know, rebounding is always something we really needed to focus on, especially this year. And she knew that was value. And it also created some opportunities because a lot of those were offensive rebounds too. And she was really killing Pioneer on the offensive boards in that game. And we had a lead of 6+ points when she went out, and then we had to hang on for dear life and pull it out in overtime. So you saw the impact right away, and then, you know, rebounding really stuck out against Twin Lakes, and it wasn't bad against Knox, but it obviously would have been better had she been around. So she was just coming around, and, you know, you hate that for her.
Yeah.
And then, you know, like we saw with Corinne Ulrich, who missed all year. Like, in the summer, she was on track to be a starter in the summer, and then she was trying to gut through a shoulder injury that ended up being a torn labrum from softball, and so she had surgery right before the season. So we knew she was out, but like, that was another player, and you're just sitting there, and those kids are gutted because you can't literally do anything to help. Like, you know you can, but you can't because of the injury.
Yeah.
and people forget those kinds of things. Like injured kids kind of get lost in the shuffle sometimes, especially a kid like Corinne Ulrich that wasn't around all the time. But, hate injuries when they occur. But the good news is both those players are juniors.
Yeah.
So we get them healthy, come back, and, as tough as that was, as night as that was, the next morning when it comes up, you start looking at next year. All right, we return Candace Croft.
Yep.
4-year varsity point guard. Marissa Iverson, junior, 3rd year, double-double, night in, night out. Sadie Popejoy, probably our most improved player. Went from a knockdown shooter her freshman year. We challenged her to become a complete player, handle it, drive it, pass it, defend it, rebound it, check, did all those things.
Yep.
Her game's just starting to take off. Maggie Keller didn't play basketball last year as a freshman, came back this year, was really just starting to get kind of comfortable. She became our defensive stopper. Like you saw, she was on Portland Minix most of that game and really did an outstanding job. Anybody she guarded, which was always the other team's best player, always held them to less than their average. And that's, again, sophomore, going to be a junior. Corinne Ulrich's going to come back as a senior. That's a good 5. Like, I don't know many teams that come back with that kind of 5. So Elizabeth De La Cruz didn't play a lot, very, very limited experience where she came from. Great attitude, really helped pull our team together. Like I said, you should respect her because there's a lot of girls with a lot of talent that were sitting in the stands this year watching. And she said, you know what? I may not have a lot of talent or skill, but I want to be a part of this team and still wants to be a part of it. And it really helped bring our team together because they all became like assistant coaches to help her get ready and try to improve her skill level. First day of practice, we're shooting free throws. She can't get the ball to the rim. Like, it's airball city. And she's just like struggling and overwhelmed. And the girls worked with her. And, my daughter, Keaton Stesiak, who was our assistant coach this year, which was really special, really worked with her a lot. And, by the end of the year, free throws, she's making 12 out of 20. She's knocking down threes in our shooting drills. And just kind of, that's one of those things. Like I told the girls in the locker room, you've got so many cool memories other than the scoreboard from this game Tuesday night. Like, that's one. Like, to see her development, and she still wants to play part of it. So there's 6 now. What's that number going to be like? Last year when I talked to you guys at this time, I thought we'd have varsity, JV, like we were good.
Yeah.
But the way kids and sometimes parents are these days, you never know. You never know. But I'm proud of this group that hung in there and battled. And so a lot to look forward to, but also a lot of respect and pride in what this group was able to accomplish under the circumstances this year.
All right, Coach. One of the hardest things we have to do as coaches every year, you got to say goodbye. So who are you saying goodbye to? What's your seniors?
Yeah, here's the thing. I'm going to give them the soapbox for a second about all those, sideline coaches and critics that hang out in the stands and things like that. I challenge you, when the season's over, you go in that locker room and you look at those kids in the eyes and you say those things you say in the stands and all those things to coaches, and you go in and you deal with that. You do that. Like, that'll humble you in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Kids, 2 worst things in this job, by far, the worst things in this job. Number 1 is a kid that gets a career-ending injury, can't finish the senior season. Like, that's heartbreaking, right?
Right.
As bad as it was for Iverson and Ulrich, like, we got time. So, but the other thing is, no matter when it ends, and I've been in a locker room blessed enough to be a lot of different parts of that tournament trail. You get to the end of that season, and you go into that locker room, and you see that outpouring of emotion when the finality hits it. Like, we always talk to kids, like, kids think every day is, the next day, or everything has forever and ever, and it doesn't. But when they hit that locker room, and I think how that locker room goes says a lot about where you're at as a program, as a team. And like I said earlier, that's as emotional locker room as I've been in a long, long time. So I think they poured everything out. And a big credit, to get back to the original thing, the big credit goes to those 2 seniors, Shay Lamer and KK O'Connor. Shay Lamer, another silver lining in a tough night. One of the officials in the game gave Shay an exemplary behavior recognition report with the IHSA, and that's a big deal. Like, that doesn't happen all the time. And the comments were along the lines of her leadership, her positivity. She always ran the ball over to the officials, had a smile on her face, great team leader when things weren't going well. Check, she's done that. And she's won, and they all do. Like, but this kid just takes it to another level. Being in a Lady Warrior basketball uniform means the world to her. limited ability, tries her best, multi-sport athlete, which I love that all of them do. But, like, it was really important. And she's probably our best teammate in 3 years. Like, she just wants the program to be successful in whatever she could do. Like, the goal this year, going into the year, was to make her a full-time post player. She's kind of been a combo guard. She came back from a knee injury in her sophomore year. And, you know, last year was kind of up and down in terms of where her role was. But, like, this year was, like, full-time post player. I think she could have done it. And then when the numbers were what they were, we're like, Shay, sorry, we got to have you place some guard, too. Nobody else had the combo next to them. You were either a post like Iverson and O'Connor,
right,
or you were a guard like Croft and, you know, the other one. So she had to work both sides of the fence and that. But she wanted to. Like, it didn't bother her. Like, I think she could have been, you know, a really good post player if she could focus on that. But we needed her to help handle it, be an inbounds passer, you know, do all these other things as a guard as well, and get some post time. And that's just a tough thing to ask. But she's like, fine, coach, whatever you need. Like, that was, and the positivity and energy, it's a very quiet group in general, and she's, I don't know, like the Winnie the Pooh character. She's like our Tigger. Like, she's bouncing in, and like everybody's like, let's go. And, you know, if it wasn't for her, this would, you know, she was energy, and she was our captain. Like, we thought we could have, you know, we always talk about seniors and players, like, who's your leaders, and coaches can pick captains kind of at the start of the season, but leaders always emerge. She's a leader. Like, she's our captain. And that doesn't mean KK O'Connor was a bad leader or anything. She was very outstanding in her own way, very consistent, very positive, very much more low-key. Like, she was that kind of steadying force that the other players could go to as well. And I appreciate that consistency. She's got a great mental attitude, knows the game. Like, those two, in their own way, really helped lead. And you don't want this kind of season. I mean, it's not like it's a bad season. It's not like we went, like, winless or anything. I mean, crying out loud, we won 14 games. Like, it was a good year. But, you know, you wish the season goes along further for those two. Like, that's the only thing. Everybody else comes back, hopefully, knock on wood. I think we are. All of us, but we're all day to day, especially after this year. I know not to look forward any more than a day. I'm not buying green bananas. Like, I'm not waiting for that. Like, today is the day. What do we got today? I have learned that lesson in spades. Like, today is the day. I'm not worrying about tomorrow. What do we got today? Who's healthy? Who's there? Like, it was a great life lesson for me as well. I learned a lot from this group. You know, really looked at how you coach, what's meaningful. Because when you only have 6 or 7 kids at practice, you got to narrow some things down. Like, I tell you what, I will never have a 3-hour practice or do any of that kind of stuff ever again. Like, this focuses you to say what's the most important things in really 3 kind of different areas. You do some individual work, you do some offense, defense, and transition, you do some X's and O's stuff, and, you know, get them out of there. And I think impactfully down the road, this group helped me become a better coach and a better person, and that's impactful. So,
wow, Coach,
I don't know if that puts a button on this season or what that is. But,
it's at least a knot. It's at least a knot.
Right? Yeah. You know, we talk like it. You know, you got to win games. That's important. They keep score for a reason. There's all those numbers in the gyms and cutting down nets. That is fantastic, right? But that's not the be all end all. If you're in it for your record at the end of the year, like, you'll never win enough. It'll never be satisfying enough. But if you focus on relationships and the stories along the way, and that's as good as it gets.
You just completed your 20th year coaching as a high school basketball head coach in the state of Indiana, Coach. You said maybe one of the most humbling years of your coaching experience, but your 20th season, Coach, how's that make you feel?
Old.
I was just getting ready to say. I'll answer that for you. Old.
Well, I'm sure. I mean, you got to have a humbling moment too for yourself to know that you've stuck with it as well. You talked about the girls sticking with it this season. I mean, you've been doing this for a long time, Coach. You're sticking with it. You must love it.
Hey, the quote is, "Tough times don't last, but tough people do."
Yeah.
Like you're gonna like these kids. I feel old, but these kids keep me young. Like, okay. I don't have hair for a reason. They make you pull it out sometimes. Like, you're working with kids every day in school, coaching, whatever. Like,
I resemble that remark.
Yeah, you know it.
Yeah,
like, we've been around. Like, we're not young pups anymore. But at the same time, too, every day something comes along, a comment, a conversation, somebody does something that you don't expect or, whatever, and there's that sort of that lightning bolt in a positive sense of like, yes, find your why. You see it every day, and there's enough to keep you coming back. Like, that's what it is. Like, even when you're frustrated, it's because it means a lot. It's because you want a lot for the kids, and you want them to be the best they can be. And, that's, if you can have an impact for the next 40 years, not just the next 4, that's what you want.
Well, Coach, I always hate goodbyes. It's always an honor to talk to you. I appreciate you giving us your time throughout the season, as always, and we'll keep in touch, and I'm sure you're already getting ready to prepare for next season, knowing you. So thanks so much for your time, Coach, and we'll talk soon.
Yeah, before I leave, I just want to say good luck to Coach Adcock. He was so great with his words before the game and after the game, of his empathy with the injuries. And, you don't sometimes get enough time to talk to other coaches as you'd like to. And there's rivalry this and rivalry that and all that kind of stuff. But he is such a good guy. Like, I appreciate that. Like, he understood the moment. And, they've had a very challenging year. And they get a win on their home court against their rivals. And, but he still understood the moment in the handshake line and said something to Mercer Iverson too. And like, such a great guy. Like, you don't mind losing to people like that. And, Coach Combs, I know she's going for a sectional championship tonight as well. Another great person, great coach. Like, the Knox and North Judson teams that are going for a sectional championship tonight, like, it's going to be hard. It's going to be a challenge. And I know their rivals are Winamac, but they're led by such good people, and you root for them. And that's the thing with coaching too. It's not just the kids you coach, but it's the kids you come into contact with other teams and things like that. Like, this area is blessed with great people running all sports. Like, you listen to your coach's show every Saturday, and Mitch, I appreciate what you and Chris do. And, Harold started before you, and like, you just listen to these coaches week in and week out. And like, this area is blessed with great coaches and great people. It's cool to be a part of, and I appreciate all you guys do. And like I said, I always know it's a big game when KVI rolls into town. So I hope there's a few more seasons where, we get to link up and have some conversations and do those kinds of things. But appreciate what you do. Love being a Warrior. And, we turn the page, and there's always something to get you up in the morning. And, man, I can't wait to get to next year. It could be a fun year.
Likewise, Coach. It'd be an honor to broadcast your games and continue this on. I appreciate your time this morning. We'll keep in touch. You have a great rest of your weekend.
Hey, you guys as well. I guess you're probably going to watch or cover Judson tonight. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, well, hopefully they cut down the nets. That's a really good team, and I know Knox is going to have a challenge. That Bremen team's really good, but if you're playing on this Saturday night in the state of Indiana, it's special.
Yeah.
It's special. So enjoy it. Best of luck to all those people that are playing. Best of luck in health, and we'll see you guys down the road.
See you soon, Coach. That is head coach of the Winamac Lady Warriors, Tony Stesiak, as we button up their Lady Warriors season. 14-10 with everything they went up against. They had a winning record. And quite wise words from Coach Tony Stesiak about the Stark County teams in a sectional championship game. You gotta love it when your rivals are behind you at the end of the day. Well, we're going to take a break and come back. We will talk with head coach James Adcock of the Knox Lady Redskins up next here on the Saturday Sports Line.
I'm afraid of upsetting news. Feast your eyes, I got something new. From up here, you can't beat the view. Just watch me now. Just watch me now.
It's hard to believe, but time sure does fly by. Collins Insurance Agency in downtown Knox are celebrating over 30 years of taking care of all of your insurance needs in our communities.
If I could turn back time.
And we're not going anywhere.
Stop in and see Jim and the crew at Collins Insurance Agency in downtown Knox.
Insurance you can count on from a business you've trusted since 1989.
Proud presidential partners of Western Reserve.
One of our hometown businesses here in our area in Monterey, it's LAP Waste.
Being able to recycle is one of our main goals at LAP Waste. Being able to say that we only take about 8% of our trash to the dump is pretty impressive for us, and we hope to keep building on that.
We service an 80-mile circle from Monterey. If you have a small job, big job, or just have a one-time, we are here to make a difference in this area.
And that phone number, Kirby?
574-542-4019.
Listen for more insight in local high school sports on the Saturday Sports Line. Here's your sports director, Mitch Columbi.
Back for more from the Pulaski Memorial Hospital studios. This is the Saturday Sports Line. We're talking Knox Lady Redskin basketball with head coach James Adcock. They see Bremen tonight in a sectional championship game. Coach, with everything you've been through this season, if they told you, here's what you're going to go through in the season, but you'll get to be in a sectional championship game with a chance to win, would you take it?
I would take it. I would absolutely take it. I told the girls in the beginning of the season, our goal is sectional champ. We were hosting it. We obviously, in the beginning of the season, you don't know what your draw is going to be. You don't know what your record's going to be. But our goal from the beginning of the season is to get into the sectional championship and give our girls a shot to win.
Absolutely. Well, you did that on Tuesday night. You got the shot like you had talked about before. Get your girls in position to win, and that's what Coach Stesiak was kind of talking about a little bit. That's what's special about Indiana high school basketball is it can change off a one play, one shot. You get an open Portland Minix and the dagger.
Yeah, the dagger's right there, and man, what shot! And we looked at it, and she got it off just in time. Winamac played great defense right there, and the girl is just one step from getting that ball from Portland, and it's how basketball goes. It's one step here, it's one pass there, it's this shot here, it's this defensive stop here, and it just comes down to that, and then that final second. And that game could have went to Winamac. That game went to us because of that last shot, but they had 12.4 seconds, and something could have happened there. And as Knox Redskin, we're thankful that we got the win, and we were grateful for Winamac's play. They never quit. They just kind of took on the heart of their coach, and the heart of that team has been never quit this season. It was a great game that night.
Yeah, I think to me the most amazing thing was Portland, the way she called for that basketball. Yeah. Hadn't scored all night. Was kind of frustrated a little bit. You heard Coach Stesiak talk about it, but I tell you what, in that moment, being down where I was at, and I could just hear her call for the basketball, I knew as soon as she called for it, as soon as it hit her hands, I knew it was going in because of the confidence you could tell in her voice, the way she called for it.
If you need someone to shoot free throws at the end of the game, you want Portland Minix. You need someone to shoot a game winner, you need Portland Minix. But here's what Portland Minix did too that was amazing. She went to Presley, and she said, if you didn't pass the ball when you did, I wouldn't have got the shot that I did. And she was given she was rewarding and just talking about how good her teammate helped her as that play got set up. And it was exactly on, but you are correct. She was confident in the shot.
You talk about last night, Career Academy, big win for you guys. They came in. They were struggling as well this season, but this is a confidence win to me. When you beat a team 58-18, to me, hopefully you take some positives away from that and it kind of can show the team like, hey, we can win.
Yeah, and that's what we're trying to do. You're trying to build confidence. We're 2-0 right now in sectional games, same as Bremen. We both come to a fight tonight at 6 o'clock. But yeah, we wanted to work on things. We wanted to get our players in. We were able to accomplish those goals. We were able to see some weaknesses from our team. We were able to see some things we got to do even right now. They're practicing right now in the Weinberg as we're talking. But just aiming to get better every second of the game, learning how this game is played, learning what it takes to win. We have young girls on this team. We got 3 freshmen on this team, and showing them, hey, this is what it's going to require in the future to win. And just like Coach talked about from Winamac, like, you know what? There's an end line here. There's a finish line for 2 girls. From our Redskin perspective, we have 2 seniors, and if we don't get it accomplished tonight, it's the end of the road. Obviously, if we do, then we go on to regionals and we'll take it from there. But there is that finish line coming up, and I hope we just keep on going. I hope we just keep on trucking through this and learning and growing more confident each game.
What do you know about Bremen coming into tonight?
They're good. I'm not sure where they're ranked right now, but I know they're ranked within the state. They have guards. If we stop them from shooting, they're going to drive. We got to play some defense tonight in a way that we did with Winamac, and just continue to build upon that. I'm not concerned for our defense in that way, because I think our defense can be as tough as anybody's. But Bremen's tough. They'll get those shots. They'll drive to the hole. And we got to play smart. We got to play confident. And I think at the end of the fourth quarter, we should be there and have another chance to win this game.
Seems things start at the point guard position for you, the freshman. I mean, she's just doing so well for this team, and her energy. I mean, she has a lot of energy, Coach.
She does have a lot of energy, and nice thing about Serenity is that she makes a bucket, or let's say she has a turnover. She has the same personality either way. She just allows that water to kind of go off her back like a duck, and she's just out there. She's fighting, and sometimes we pull her to the side. Hey, here's what we want to run. Here's what we want to do, or here's the defense we want to do. And so she's taking a lot of responsibility as a freshman this year. That wasn't the plan, but sometimes the plan gets thrown out the window when things happen, and she's done a great job. How's the energy been in the locker room? It's been fantastic. It's we came in after the win in Winamac, and what an amazing difference between that and a couple weeks ago when we lost to Winamac. Right. And kudos to Winamac. They fought, and I love that team. I love the heart of that team, and just like their coach said, Stark County is blessed to have these teams that are fighting every night. But I think at the end of the night, you're rooting for your Stark County teams to succeed, because that's a benefit to the whole community. Sure. And but our girls, man, they were cheering, excited. We didn't talk a whole lot. We want to get them out there and celebrate with their friends and family, taking pictures and all that stuff. They get cupcakes and cookies. I don't know what that's all about, but they enjoy that stuff, and I enjoy watching it. I enjoy just sitting back and just like, this is their time. It's not about us. Our time as a coach is on the floor in those 32 minutes. Win or loss, it's time for these girls to get out there and just be with their families, celebrate with their friends, and just enjoy that time.
Now, I was going to go back to the first time back in December when you took on Bremen. You gave up 71 points.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. So going into tonight, what's going to be the goal defensively? Where do you think where do you have to hold them to give yourself a chance to pull off the upset tonight?
Well, we are we're between a 30 and a 45 point ball team as far as average on. We have to stay within that mark. And that means our defense is going to have to speak for us tonight. Right. There are nights that we get on the floor and we play great defense, and the offense is not going well with us. In the essence of, we may run our offense, but the ball's not falling into the hoop. But I'm going to tell you something. Rose Webb has just been playing her heart out, and she's a difference maker now in the line. Nora's coming in for us and just rebound. Elise is coming in getting rebounds. We have Matty Henshaw coming in as well, and just as a freshman, just growing and growing. Lexi Salyers as well. We have Presley and Riley up top playing some defense, and I'm really hoping that we can shake those two guards up a little bit and just not let them be as comfortable as they were the first game. And when they do drive, we're going to have our girls there. Portland's going to be there. Ryland's going to be there. Rose is going to be there, and they're going to stop that. We're going to help the helper, and we're going to keep that third pass from happening. So we're hoping to disrupt them. Now, if you looked at last night's game, Bremen and Lavelle, it was a 15-16 game at halftime. So there was a lot of defense going on there, and Bremen came out and broke out in the third quarter. But if we can keep it to a 15-16 game in the first half and do the same thing in the second half, we got a chance tonight.
Yeah. Right. Well, and then similarly, like the game you were in with Winamac, because they were short on numbers, they slowed the game down. They got the ball into the half court. It's interesting how, you watch NBA in the postseason, all of a sudden they want to play defense and get it into the half court. I always find that interesting. But, here in Indiana, we play the right way of basketball. It'll have to probably be slowing the game down, getting it to your tempo, you dictating the pace. I assume you probably don't want to get it out into transition and let the Lions run around.
No, keep the Lions at bay. We'll keep them in the cage there, But if I could, and if I thought Bremen would let me, I'd just hold the ball. Yeah, I'd hold the ball 31 minutes and then we'd play ball in the 32nd minute with us with having the ball.
Well, and I mean, he's not wrong when saying that. As long as they're not up on you, the 5-second rule, you could keep holding it. Milan, when they won in '54 in that state championship game against Muncie, they held the ball for several minutes at the top of the key, and Muncie just let them do that. So, I mean, you might be exactly right. Like, take your time, be patient, wait for the right thing. What defensively do you think they're going to throw at you?
I think they're going to stay in their zone. They play a zone. I don't want to call it a soft zone, but it's a zone that doesn't put a lot of pressure as far as like trapping and that type of thing. Now, they will pressure us, but I think if it came down to it and we needed to hold the ball, we can hold the ball. We just got to make sure that we're comfortable in that situation. You know how sometimes it goes in a basketball game, 10 seconds is rolling off the clock and we haven't shot the ball yet, and oh man, we better hurry up and do something. Just be patient. I don't care if the game ends at 8-6, and type thing. That's not the issue. The issue is let's do what we have to do to win this ball game, and we're going to have to slow it down.
And talk about how you're going to attack this zone.
Well, we've been working on that, and we have some different looks that are going to help us not just down low, but also get our guards open for some nice looking threes, nice looking twos. Our girls are shooting with more confidence right now. I think that comes with winning too. That it just kind of comes that way. Portland hit a couple shots last night to kind of get us going out of the gates last night with South Bend Career Academy, and that just, I was telling the girls, if we get a quick hitter, get a layup, whether it's Rose or Rylan getting a quick hitter there, or Port or Serenity hitting a three, or Riley driving to the hoop, whatever it is, we get a quick hitter, all of a sudden we're like, oh, we just hit our first shot, we're good, let's go. But you miss that first shot, all of a sudden you miss your second shot. Now it's starting to eat at you, and I wish that didn't happen, but it happens to boys and girls, and so we want to get out there and try to get a nice looking shot, trade a good shot for a great shot, and get on the board, and then let that build our confidence throughout tonight's game.
You talked about Portland Minix, you talked about Serenity Nava, you talked about Rose Webb. Who else, in your opinion, needs to step up on this team?
Well, we got Riley Taylor. She is kind of the she is a sophomore. She's one of our leaders. She handles the ball quite a bit. She drives for us. Presley Messer is going to play some defense, and Presley gets us a bucket here and there when we need it. And she's not a comfortable three-point shooter, but she loves a 12-foot in, and so that's huge. She knows what she needs to do. I tell you, girls off the bench like Elise, Nora, coming off the bench, giving us, hey, can you go out there and give me all the rebounds you can get, or hey Nora, go out there and just set some massive screens for us and get our girls open, and she does that. We have. Obviously Presley comes off the bench, but she comes out and we don't lose anything with the girls coming off the bench. And then we have our two freshmen, Lexi and Matty, and they come in and they add energy to us as well, and getting out there and learning and growing.
Yeah, you talked about also staying together as a team before, and last year I remember your saying was Aliyah.
Aliyah, yeah. Let us rise up.
And maybe this is the right time to bring that up right now.
Yeah, obviously it is. Our girls know what's in front of them. I mean, they're not. We've played Bremen before. We know what Bremen is. We know Bremen's picked to win tonight. But that puts all the pressure on Bremen. Let Bremen have that pressure.
Yeah.
We get out there and just play our game. We go out there and have fun. I'm not saying have fun and lose. Please don't misunderstand me. But I'm saying go out there and play our game. There's no pressure for us. No one's expecting us to win tonight outside of Redskin fans, and we have great fans. I just want to thank our fans for a moment for showing up to Winamac. I meant the excitement. You were there.
Yeah.
The excitement in that gym, coming down to a final 20 seconds there, and just Winamac fans were giving all they could for the Warriors. Our fans were giving it all up for the Sisterhood Redskins, and just what a great atmosphere. And I believe that atmosphere will be there tonight as well. But just the great job that our fans have done these past few nights.
Coach, I always appreciate talking to you. Good luck tonight. A big opportunity against the Bremen Lady Lions on your home court, a sectional championship, Coach.
Hey, we are looking forward to it, and we hope it's a red and white celebration tonight and not a green and white one. So.
Yes, defend the Berg.
Defend the Berg, that's right. Someone...
I like that.
Somebody was talking about our girls in a positive way, and, the one thing that I love seeing is I got these little fifth grade girls coming up to me and high-fiving me, I got 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade girls coming, walking, watching the game. That's our future sisterhood right there. Right. That's the future generations. And they're watching these girls fight their hearts out. They're watching not just our girls, they're watching other girls try to win for their team. And what an amazing atmosphere for these young ladies to come say, you know what, that's going to be me 2 years down the road or 1 year down the road. I was talking to one girl, and I was like, that's going to be you in 3 years. And she said, can I get on that floor? I said, you're going to be on that floor. And, and just that excitement, and that excites me about what's happening with us at the sisterhood in Knox.
We'll keep our ear out tonight, Coach. Your tip-off is at 6 p.m. Central, correct?
Yes, sir.
Well, good luck at the historic Harold Weinberg Gymnasium, Coach.
Thanks, you guys. Thanks for all you've done this year, and we hope to hopefully speak to you next week about regionals.
Yes, absolutely. All right, that is head coach of the Knox Lady Redskins. It is James Adcock here on the Saturday Sports Line. Big sectional championship game tonight at historic Harold Weinberg Gymnasium. Redskin Nation, they need you. They're taking on the Bremen Lady Lions. We're going to take a quick break. Athlete of the Week interview with Culver Lady Cavalier. Our general manager, Lenny Nessauer's in the house. He's dancing. We're going to have our Athlete of the Week interview with Culver Lady Cavalier girls basketball player Amiyah Williams up next. Ashland brings it up top. Gracie Menix is on her. Entry pass to Brooke Davis. They have a mismatch inside. Amiyah Williams, turnaround shot from the post is good. 14-11 here. The Cavs trail by 3, 6 minutes to go in the third.
It's hard to believe, but time sure does fly by. Collins Insurance Agency in downtown Knox are celebrating over 30 years of taking care of all of your insurance needs in our communities.
If I could turn back time.
And we're not going anywhere.
Stop in and see Jim and the crew at Collins Insurance Agency in downtown Knox.
Insurance you can count on from a business you've trusted since 1989.
Proud presidential partners of Western Reserve.
It's time now for Hour 2 of the Saturday Sports Line with your host, Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI Sports Director, Mitch Columbi, and sports analyst, Chris McGowan.
We are back for more from the Pulaski Memorial Hospital studios. This is the longest-running high school sports show in Indiana, the Saturday Sports Line. It is time to talk about our Tyler Roth WKVI Athlete of the Week, senior Culver Lady Cavalier basketball player, Amiyah Williams. Amiyah has been a leader on this Lady Cav team for quite a while now. Here in her senior season, she helped the Lady Cavs have the best regular season since 2014. It's obvious when facing other opponents, they pay attention to Amiyah on the inside, as if she gets going, it's going to be a long night. Without further ado, here's my sit-down interview with Culver Lady Cavalier, Amiyah Williams. All right, I'm talking with our Tyler Roth, WKVI Athlete of the Week. It is Amiyah Williams from Culver Community. Amiyah, you are one of the main leaders on this Culver Cav team. Quite a run there at the end of the season, and really has been the best season for the Lady Cavs since 2014. So really, congratulations to you. But talk about the love of basketball and what it means to you.
Well, thank you for saying that. I've come a long way in basketball. I started in Culver in 7th grade, and I really didn't know anybody because I just moved here from a fresh start. And we won our 7th grade HNAC tournament, and it all just started from there. A few girls did quit, but as I grew stronger, my love for my team grew bigger, and the girls really it's like a healthy environment, and you just learn to love your teammates because those are the people who are really there for you.
Yeah, let's talk about the teammates. Who else on this Culver Lady Cavalier team do you believe we should know about?
I would keep a good lookout for our freshmen, Ashlyn Bear and Ava McEwen, and also a little shout out to Chloe Lewis, because they are going to be the face of Culver basketball. They already are, and with us seniors leaving, they're going to be stepping up, and they already took on a big role their freshman year.
Yeah, talk about some goals for this season. What were goals that maybe the coaches had set for you and the girls this year? What were some of the goals?
The coaches just wanted us to have fun all together, build a bond, and be better than we have in the past years. And our record is, I think, 15-8. And so this is the best it's been since 2014. And we've been working, and we've worked hard to get to that goal.
Yeah.
So I think that was the biggest accomplishment. And we wanted to win Bi-County. Unfortunately, that we did lose, but we grew from that, and we're ready to win sectionals.
Yeah, let's talk about the coaching staff. Who on this coaching staff do we need to know about?
I think we need to know about the whole coaching staff because they all play their part. There's Adam Neese, AJ Neese, the Neese brothers, Mr. Barrett, Brett Barrett, Austin Zahner, JB Overmeyer, and then my mom, Jessica McEwen. They really help us. They all have a role. They all answer our questions. They all have a part. They really help out in the environment. And if one of us is lost, we always can count on one of them to help us.
Yeah. Talk about a goal that you maybe had personally. Was there anything in particular coming into the season, it's your senior year, that you wanted to accomplish for yourself or maybe the team in general?
I wanted to get the girls that are seniors this year ready for next year, and I wanted to leave a good impact on the team. I didn't want to leave the team with a negative record or just a low record or play my worst games. I really wanted to show up this year, and I don't think I did so much on the offense, but our defense is really good, and I think everybody really showed up. And I think my biggest goal was making sure that they wanted to play next year and make it more girls can come in because it really is fun.
Yeah. Talk about a couple of years ago. Let's take us back in time. You know, you got to play with Kennedy Jackson, and what you just told me was that you want to help the younger girls to the next year. That's kind of what Kennedy Jackson was for you, I feel like, back in the day. Talk about playing with her and how much that was an impression on you in your early years here at Culver.
When Kennedy Jackson came in, she was my role model. I followed in her footsteps. I did everything that she did, and she led me to be the player I was today, and not just basketball, but in life. I still talk to her sometimes, and she still helps me through basketball. And also my sister Maisie, who graduated with her, she also helped me grow as a person too, and a basketball player. She taught me to be scrappy on the court and everything. And then last year, our senior leader that left, Grace, she was a big role model because it really was just like me and Grace, like last year we were the captains. Yeah. And it just was a very loving environment, and they all helped me grow. And I started to see that role models really do help you in the future.
Tell us your parents' names.
My parents' names are Matthew McEwen and Jessica McEwen.
And talk about the support system they've been for you.
My parents have been the biggest support system. I have 4 other siblings, and we all play sports, and they've helped us go to every single basketball practice, every single soccer practice, every single whatever it is, baseball. We all support each other. My family is my biggest support system. After each game, we always come home and talk about it at nighttime, and sometimes we watch film and we prepare ourselves. It's really my family that has gotten me here.
Yeah, let's talk about sectionals. I know at this time you have a game this evening on Friday, but let's talk about that win last night on Thursday against Oregon Davis. I mean, that was a great win. The first 3 quarters was back and forth. It was a different Bobcat team than you had saw in the earlier part of the season. You take care of business in the 4th quarter. It really was impressive. Tell us your thoughts.
Well, we beat them the first time. We played them by a lot, but it was so different because they were missing 2 of their girls, 2 of their starters. And so when they came back, everybody expected us to be a little shaken up, but we were ready to win. In the end of the 2nd quarter, we were down by 1 point, and we all wanted it. We wanted it more than Oregon Davis, and we wanted to play it tonight. We won it tonight too, but we came back and we really showed them what we had, and our defense was just top tier in the second half. They weren't really getting by us. I think communication on the floor helped a lot.
So what do you hope happens here at the end of the season?
I hope to win a sectional and be on the wall, but even if we don't, I still love my team very much, but I'm very hopeful.
What's it mean to Amiyah Williams to be a Culver Cavalier?
being a Culver Cavalier is putting everybody first and making sure that not just myself, but everybody around me is successful. And I'm really like a big friends and family. They boost each other up, a support system. So I think it's important to have a good support system. Count on your coaches. Listen to them because they know what they're doing. They've been at this for a very long time. And overall, just being there for each other.
Well, Amiyah, I appreciate your time today. Congratulations for being named our Tyler Roth WKVI Athlete of the Week.
Thank you.
Well, I appreciate Miss Williams for her time. Also, shout out to Athletic Director Mike Zahner for helping me set that interview up. As we are going to take a break, more sports talk is coming your way. This is the Saturday Sports Line. And Bryn Barrett picks it up to Amiyah Williams. Amiyah over to Ashlyn Barrett to the far corner. Brooke Davis, entry pass to Amiyah Williams. Turnaround shot from the post. Amiyah Williams. Tie ball game again.
There's a trend happening around the educational world. More and more high school graduates are attending smaller community colleges to start their educational journey. At Marian University's Ancilla College, we welcome students from all walks of life. The opportunities at Marian University are endless, from living on campus to being a collegiate student-athlete. From day one, your professors will help you create a plan for a success at Marian and beyond. Find out more about Marian University's Ancilla College through our website at marian.edu/Ancilla today.
The Stark County Co-op has been a member-owned farm services co-op in Stark County since 1928. That's over 90 years, and they're still providing the same quality agronomy services to the farming community of Stark and surrounding counties. The Stark County Co-op is an LP and fuel provider. The Stark County Co-op purchases grain at both locations, Hamlet and Brems. You can reach them by phone at 1-800-782-3392.
Here's more with area high school coaches as we return to the Saturday Sports Line from the Pulaski Memorial Hospital Studios on K99.3.
We welcome you back to the Saturday Sports Line as it's time to transition and talk North Judson-San Pierre Lady Blue Jay girls basketball with head coach Whitney Combs off a big win last night. Coach, how are you this morning?
I'm good this morning. How are you, Mitch?
Well, I'm doing great. I can only imagine how good you are. You win on Thursday against South Central for the second time this season. You win last night against the Culver Lady Cavs for the second time this season, which it's hard to do to beat a team twice. Now you're in a sectional championship game again this year. You're taking on Elkhart Christian. Let's talk about the last two games. Start with South Central. What do you like about that game?
I mean, the South Central game, we came out from the get-go, and we just came to play. You know, Kaylin Tunis came out. She scored 25 for us. That was big. And then we had Avery Johnston with 9. Our girls, every single girl on our bench got in and played, and they played with heart. And, you know, we got that first game jitters out, and then we rolled on to Culver. Our defense was outstanding last night. You know, our girls out there, they were just dogs. But what a doozy of a game, right?
Oh, my
Props out to Culver. Props out to Culver. They kept us to 29 points. That's our lowest score of the season. What a great sectional game to be a part of. You know, that's what Indiana basketball is all about. It was rough, chippy, high emotions everywhere. We battled and we came out on top, and I couldn't be more proud of these girls if I tried. You know, Kylie Lehigh, always good on defense, and then she came out and she scored 8 points in the fourth quarter. She scored 10 in total, 8 of them in the fourth quarter. You know, she really put her foot down and said, hey, this is not the last game of my high school career, and took over like a leader should.
Yeah, this will be.
And then we had.
No, go ahead.
And then we had Shiloh DeBoard. You know, she had a giant 3 for us at the start of the game, and as always, her defense is always there too. And Kaylin Tunis, she stepped up defensively for us last night. She had a big 3 at the start of the game to help us go up 12-2 in that first quarter. Avery Johnson, you know, she ended up with 5 points, but she handled the ball pressure so well against Culver. You know, they were up there in her grill trying to get in her head, and she's only a sophomore, and she handled that so well. And I think I recall a great blocker, too, that she had.
Yeah.
Gracie, she had some, I think it was 2 of them, big ones, got the crowd pumped up. Then we had Gracie Minix. You know, she has great post D. She does the little things in the paint for us. I mean, I remember her getting stuck on Ava McCune a couple times, you know, and she did a great job of keeping her in front of them. Then we had Grace Craig and Macy Morrow come in. You know, they always come in and they bring the energy. You know, I love watching their defense out there. And Grace Craig, she scored only 2 points in that second quarter.
but she still played so well for you.
She sure did.
Yeah, she had a big offensive putback late in the fourth quarter. I think the game was 24-21 at the time, and she had an offensive putback to make it 26-21, which I think ended up being our play of the game.
Yep, she had 4 points, and both of those baskets came at a better time for us.
You talk about tonight, Coach Elkhart Christian. I know you watched them a little bit. We talked in the post game about them, but now that you've had more time to watch some film, what sticks out about them?
I mean, they're a really great team. They communicate really well out there. You know, they have some really good guards, 3 and 11. You know, they're both freshmen, and they get out there, and they're really good. They like to drive and kick. They're pretty similar to Culver without the little rivalry we got going on with Culver, you know. They also have a post presence, so we got to make sure we box out and get every rebound we can.
Last year, you made it to the sectional championship game. It was an unfortunate loss to LaVille, 47-37. You fast forward 365 days or more. You're in another sectional championship game, your second year coaching at North Judson. What has to change this time around?
And we have to come out and we have to want it from the get-go, from the tip. It has to be ours. You know, it's there if we want it. We have to play with heart. All loose balls have to be ours. Survive and advance. That's our mission.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought Kylie Lehigh last night did a great job. She was our Ashley Derrickson 5-star player of the game. She showed up when it mattered most, Coach.
Yep, she sure did.
Talk about Kaylin Tunis. She had a great game. She had a great game against South Central as well.
She did. She had, like I said, 25 points. You know, that's awesome for her to get. And then she scored 5 last night against Culver. But like I said, her defense was phenomenal last night. We're not always going to be able to score the points, right? Everyone else can step up and do that and take some pressure off of her. So I'm looking for her to have a big night tonight.
Yeah, it looks like Elkhart Christian has a couple of freshmen that can get going. Talk about defensively what you're going to have to do.
I mean, we're just going to have to play like we did last night. You know, keep them in front of us, just get up there and pressure them and make them not want the ball. And I think we can do that. Our defense, I'm very proud of our defense.
Yeah. Message to Blue Jay Nation here. They've been showing up for you.
They sure have. 6 p.m. tonight. Be there in blue and gold. Come be our 6th man. We appreciate you supporting these girls. Really deserve it. And go Lady Jays.
Coach, I look forward.
Real quick, though.
No, yeah.
I do want to give a shout out to my coaching staff. You know, they put in so much time and effort. You know, Coach Denver was up until 3 a.m. scouting. I did my best. I couldn't stay up with him all night. And Coach Kayla, you know, she keeps me in check on the bench with fouls and timeouts and all that good stuff. You know, I'm really blessed to have them on my team.
How's shoot-around going this morning?
It starts at 9:30, so I'll be heading down there in a second. They should be warming up and getting a little bit loose. We're probably a little bit sore after that chippy game last night, so we won't do too much up and down, but, you know, just getting them a little loose, going over some stuff that we need to go over for Elkhart Christian, and hopefully getting them pumped up.
We look forward to seeing you tonight, Coach. It's always an honor to talk to you. Thanks so much for your time. Good luck with shoot-around this morning, getting them warmed up, and we'll see you later tonight.
Thank you, guys.
All right, that is head coach of the North Judson-San Pierre Lady Blue Jays. It is Whitney Combs here on the Saturday Sports Line. We're going to take a quick break and come back. We're going to talk South Central boys basketball with head coach Matty Bush up next.
One of our hometown businesses here in our area in Monterey, it's LAP Waste.
Being able to recycle is one of our main goals at LAP Waste. Being able to say that we only take about 8% of our trash to the dump is pretty impressive for us, and we hope to keep building on that.
We service an 80-mile circle from Monterey. If you have a small job, big job, or just have a one-time, we are here to make a difference in this area.
And that phone number, Kirby?
574-542-4019.
Stay tuned for more sports talk with Mitch Columbi on Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
Pulaski Memorial Hospital. Quality care closer to home. Pulaski Memorial Hospital is all about community and keeping our community spotlight shining on the accomplishments of our youth. That's why PMH is proud to be a sponsor of our local high school sports action on WKVI, our community radio station. Pulaski Memorial Hospital. Quality care closer to home.
It's time for more Kankakee Valley area sports talk worldwide on K99.3 FM and WKVI.com.
Back to talk South Central boys basketball with head coach Matty Bush. We've got him on the line. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Hey, we're hanging in there. We're having a good time. We're running a little late, though. Sorry, Coach.
Oh, that's no worries.
Sounds like are you driving somewhere?
My daughter's swimming in the sectionals for swimming, so I'm heading down there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That is exciting, Coach. Congratulations to her.
Yeah, she did really well in the first round, so she's swimming in finals today. So I'm heading that way.
Well, shout out to her, Coach. I wanted to have you on to talk about how things have been with your boys' team. It's hey, we're already almost this is the last month of the regular season. Can you believe it?
Oh, it's gone really, really quick. But I really like where we're at right now. Kind of similar to last year. We had a really good group of seniors last year, and so we have a lot of guys playing roles that they haven't played a ton. And coming into the year, we started off a little slow. And right now, I think we're playing our best basketball. We've won 2 straight over Tri and New Prairie, and we were supposed to play Thursday night, but our game got pushed with the ice storm that happened, and so now that's pushed to Wednesday. So we're in kind of a little spot where we haven't played since last Saturday, and won't play till Wednesday. But so that kind of hopefully it doesn't hurt our momentum that we've kind of built up. But I like where we're at. We're probably playing the best offensive basketball we've played all year. And yeah, it's good to be playing well going into the end of the year.
Hey, you've had some wins since we last talked. Conference opponent Boone Grove. You also beat Hebron. They're not a conference opponent, but you beat Hebron. You also beat.
They are.
Oh, they are. Hebron is.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Well, John Harold needs to put a C with a circle around it. Come on, John.
That was in the conference tournament.
I see. Thank you, sir. So, and then also talk about Tri-Township. I mean, you beat, from what I hear, that's a rivalry game. You beat Tri-Township, and then you beat New Prairie. So you're coming up on your next game, 2 wins. Like you said, you didn't get your last game, but it's rescheduled to next week. So you have 2 big wins here. It seems like maybe the ball is rolling in the right direction at this point in time.
Yeah, exactly. Every time I've talked to you guys, it's about defense first, and we have been trying to find our offensive identity, and really early in the year we just turned the ball over too much. And recently we because we had all this time, we went through our stats with the team and talked about things we've done well and what we need to improve. And we only had 6 turnovers against New Prairie. We only had 8 against La Crosse, and we're down averaging under 12 turnovers a game now, which at the beginning of the year we were up over like 16 a game. And so our guys have just done a much, much better job of taking care of the basketball and limiting turnovers. And, we don't have a true point guard per se, but a lot of guys have taken on that role. Clayton Strow, Jay Huerta, even Jack Haschel's done some ball handling for us. And, they've done a great job of protecting the ball and getting us good shots on a, possession-by-possession basis.
You talk about Hebron, that big win, 62-57, and then it was a tough loss in the PCC tournament to Washington Township, but it was a close matchup. It looks like 62-59 was the final, Coach. What did you take away from that game?
Yeah, we had a little bit of bad luck. We led most of the game, and Jay picked up 3 fouls in a minute to give him 4 in the third, and so we lost him for a big chunk of the second half. And that's kind of when they went on their run, and he's so important for us. That those types of things happen. We needed other guys to step up, and we just, he does most of the ball handling. He's our main scorer, and we haven't played that many minutes without him on the floor this year. So we looked a little disjointed when he was out for that long, and just then we couldn't make enough plays down the stretch to get back to win the game. But the other piece that has been huge for us recently is he didn't play earlier in the year. He just hadn't learned to play the way that I require our guys to play, which is Brody Grass. He's a sophomore. He was 6 foot tall last year when I took the job, and he's 6'7" now. So he's kind of learning how to play as a 6'7" guy. But lately he's been awesome. In that Hebron game, in about 18 minutes, he had, I think, 14 rebounds and 6 blocks.
Wow.
And so he's really coming on and starting to figure stuff out, and he'll be a really important, piece for us going forward.
All right, Coach, you'll get your chance at redemption against Washington Township on Valentine's Day at your place, at the launch pad. But before then, you got to take on Morgan Township. What do you know about the Cherokees?
Well, it'll be a special game for me. It'll be the first time going back to where I graduated, where my dad coached for 30 years. So looking forward to that one. And, Morgan has been a really, really great program here for a while. Coach Krieger's done a great job, and they'll be ready to go. They've have some guys who can really shoot it. I mean, they beat Hebron by 30 earlier in the year, so they have guys who can do some stuff, and we got to be ready to go. I mean, we do keys to victory in every game, and one of the main keys is just knowing personnel, because they have a lot of guys who can fill it up on any given night. So.
Yeah, I'm looking at stats here, Coach. You mentioned Jay Huerta leading a score for your team, 15 a game. Noah Howard right behind him with 10.4, and then Jack Cashel with 8.2. Lautenbach leads the team with right around 6 boards per game. Clayton Stroud leads the team in assists, right around 5 a game, and then steals as well for Stroud, 2 a game. Out of those guys I mentioned, who are the most, or I guess they're all the most important, but who is really the 2 or 3 guys that you can count on night in and night out?
Yeah, our 5 starters, like all those guys you mentioned, are all, we have guys who really fill their roles well, and we give out a hustle chain at the end of every game, and I tell our coaches pretty much that really I could give that out to Clayton probably every game, because what you read there, assists and steals, and he's averaging 2-3 rebounds a game as well. Like every game I look at the stat sheet, and Clayton's got 4 or 5 stat categories that he's filled up, and he's always guarding either the team's best player or second best player depending on the position. And he just he's somebody that you count on every single game to do the things we need to be done. And so I'd say like he's like the foundation of our team. Jay's obviously very important and scores, and he's been so much better, like I said, about handling the ball and being a distributor. But obviously, we looked over stats, and over like the last 8 games, he's shooting like 57% from 2 and 40% from 3. So Jay's obviously, he's really, really had a great year as well for us.
You talk about this point in the season with under 20 days to go already. It's hard to believe. And one thing I do notice when I look at your schedule is not only were you a part of the PCC tournament, you also were part of a tournament there at the beginning of January. So by the end of this regular season, Coach, your team will have gone through 2 tournaments, which, in my opinion, that kind of prepares you for a sectional run, perhaps.
Yeah, one of the other things we've recently talked with our guys about, that some of this is luck and some of it is experience, but we're right now 0-5 in games that are decided by 3 points or less. You swing a couple of those games, coaches love to talk about, hey, a play here, a play there, but really that's what it is. And, we're a few plays away from being, 12-6 or 12-5 or 14 and whatever. I mean, it doesn't always work that way, but our guys have been in these close spots. So, playing in the tournaments, playing in tight games and learning about how to handle those situations, I think will help us, hopefully come tournament time.
Coach, I appreciate your time as always. Right now, where you're standing, are you happy where the boys are at leading into the final few weeks here?
I am. Like I said at the beginning, I kind of have, I don't love this long break we've ended up having because of the ice storm, because I do think we are playing really well. But, I just talked to the guys. I said, hey, because once we get to Monday, we play Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Saturday, Tuesday, and then it's sectional. So now it becomes a sprint where we got, games and a couple practices and another game and game. And so hopefully we can get back to where we were and continue to improve going into the state tournament.
When we saw you at the beginning of the season, Coach, something that you had kind of talked about with us here on the Saturday show was that you wanted to see shots fall. As the season has progressed, have you seen the shots that we know the Satellites can make happen fall?
Yes, we've definitely, our shooting percentages have gone up. Like I said, Jay and Noah Howard, I was actually looking at our conference stats, and those two lead the conference in three-pointers made on the year. They're 1-2, and they're both shooting really well, high percentages. I mean, Jay's at 37, 38%, Noah's at 35, 36% from three. And, so we've been doing a much better job of finding those guys and getting them looks, and they've been knocking them down. And obviously that's an important part of winning basketball games, is making shots.
How's the free throws going?
Free throws continue to be, something we got to improve on. And I mean, Jay's shooting really well, but it's something that we struggled with the last year, the year before. I know they struggled with it. It's something that we work on, but the guys got to just step up and make them. And hopefully we have been better with it. We've had a couple games though where it was a struggle.
Yeah, we've been in some games where free throws get real important down the stretch. I know that is probably a key to the game that you definitely keep an eye on as well. But, Coach, I sure do appreciate your time. Good luck this coming week against Morgan Township, your alma mater.
Yep, I'm looking forward to it. Haven't really been back in that gym. I've been back in there to watch a game or two, but I'm excited to go back. So.
I was going to say, and tell your daughter good luck today.
I will. Thank you, guys.
Coach, thanks so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll keep in touch, okay? We'll be seeing you soon here on the 22nd when you're hosting the Knox Redskins. So looking forward to seeing you.
Awesome. We'll see you guys then.
All right, that is head coach of the South Central Satellites boys basketball team. It is Matty Bush here on the Saturday Sports Line. We appreciate his time. We're going to take a quick break. No, we're going straight to the Where the Now segment with Harold Welter. I think you know him well. Don't go anywhere. Even McCune to the near corner three. Ashlyn Barrett! Tie ball game! 14 all. 5:25 to go in the third quarter, and the Cavs have come all the way back. Let's get back up top. Three ball. Kylie Lehigh. Banks are open. And she cashes in 22-19. The Jays needed that one. Kalen attacking, gets inside. Back out near corner. Kylie Lehigh. She drives baseline. Has space on the glass. And a big move there. 24-19. The Jays lead by 5 here with 5 minutes to go in the ball game.
Stay tuned for more sports talk with Mitch Columbi and Chris McGowan on the longest-running high school sports show in Indiana, the Saturday Sports Line.
It's time now for Where Are They Now? A look back at more than a half century of local high school sports coverage on Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI. Today's program is brought to you by Osborne's Mini Mart in Knox. Now let's meet one of the local high school sports figures from more than 50 years of WKVI sports and find out where are they now?
Well, as we look back on more than 50 years of broadcasting high school sports in the Kankakee Valley here on WKVI, our guest is Angela Neumann Draper, a 1996 graduate of Knox High School, and she played on some very successful basketball teams. We're going to talk about that and some other things, but we call this segment Where Are They Now? And Angela, where are you now, and what are you doing?
Hi. Thank you for having me. It was an honor when you contacted me to chat. It's great. It's great to hear your voice again. I have a lot of great memories, you broadcasting our games and your family. So now I live in Michigan, Hillsdale, Michigan, southern part of Michigan, tri-state area. My husband and I, we have a farm. We have 4 children, and I am a school teacher. I have been at the same school where our children go to the same school as well. I have been there. I've worked there for, let's see, about 9 years now. I started out, I was coaching the varsity girls basketball team. Then I took on the athletic director position. And as our family grew, I stepped down gradually from both positions, and now I'm preschool teacher and mom, and my 5th grade daughter is really trying to talk me into coaching her team, her basketball team right now. So we'll see how that goes.
So you got plenty to keep you busy with 4 kids and a farm and teaching and coaching, huh?
Absolutely. We are a busy family. It's okay. That's great, though. It's wonderful.
And I want to go back because you played a lot of basketball when you were at Knox. Looking back, what is the one game that you remember more than any other all these years later?
Oh, my gosh. That's tough. Wow. I would say it's probably those 3 sectional wins. Those 3 in a row. Those were really big. Maybe the 3rd win I probably remember the most. I remember everyone we played with, and it was a tough game, and I have a lot of memories from those 3 wins, actually.
And you were fortunate because you played with some outstanding athletes, didn't you?
Oh, absolutely. They only improved who I was as a person, as a player. I was very fortunate, very blessed to be able to play with all of them.
Well, you went on to play some college basketball, too. What was the biggest adjustment from high school to college ball?
The biggest adjustment was just adjusting to juggling classes and the demands of being a college athlete, and being able to stay focused and making sure I was keeping my responsibilities in check. That's a big adjustment for some. As you look back and the time you were growing up around the Knox area and getting really involved in basketball, who were some of the people that were like your role models or people who helped you be so successful? Oh, gosh. I feel awful. I can't remember her last name, but I remember when I was in elementary school, there was a player in high school. Her name was Angie. That's all I remember. I'm pretty sure, but I remember I really looked up to her as a player.
The Ross girls. I believe so. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. I remember watching the guys playing. I remember thinking, gosh, I want to be quick like them and fast like them. And I'd say as coaches-wise, Jerry Bechtold, I feel like he really helped our team as a whole when we were young, with my class of 96. And, he was a huge father figure for me. Brenda Walski, absolutely, 4 years playing high school basketball and, sharing the summer camp when I was younger, and a very big influence on my development as a person and a player in the Knox area for sure.
So you ended up being a high school basketball coach for a period of time up there in Michigan, huh?
I did, yes. After college, during college, when I had graduated from high school, I started working as a counselor for McCracken basketball camps. And it just, that was definitely another sports part of the world that changed my life dramatically. I worked for them for about 13 years. Wow. And Dave McCracken was one of my mentors, and Todd Garman. So I started out as a counselor, and then I became a site director for them. And that's where I actually met my very dear friend, Stephanie Miller. She's a Goshen college basketball coach in Indiana for the women. And I actually still have my core group of friends that we are very close. We still get together once a year, and we spend time together. I actually met through that camp. So sports have just been amazing, and that kind of followed, and it kind of spurred me wanting to, after we had kids, I thought, gosh, I really miss being in the sports world. We had 2 children at the time, and an opportunity came for me to coach the high school team, where our son was a kindergartner at the time, and my husband and I chatted about it, and I was really excited to take on the opportunity. It was a really young team. It was an inexperienced team, so it was a lot of room for growth. I was excited to do it.
No, it's a little different coaching basketball in Michigan than it is in Indiana.
Maybe. Maybe. It's not as intense sometimes. I guess it just depends. I have a lot of fond Indiana memories, that's for sure. And I get a lot of comments, oh, you're an Indiana girl, you understand.
We're talking with Angela Neumann Draper, a 1996 graduate of Knox High School, here on our Where Are They Now segment. And we'll be back to continue our conversation after this word from Osborne's Mini Mart.
Need a game plan that has your day covered from tip-off to the buzzer? Osborne's Mini Mart in Knox has you covered. Whether you like to start out with a caffeinated full-court press or control the tempo with a Subway breakfast flatbread, Osborne's Mini Mart has what you need. Don't get trapped in the corner with an empty stomach. Call a quick timeout and get 2 hot dogs. Visit Osborne's Mini Mart in Knox at the corner of US 35 and Highway 8 East to guarantee you win the day.
Our guest is Angela Neumann Draper, a 1996 graduate of Knox High School, who is now living in Michigan and doing a little coaching with her own child's basketball team. She had a lot of success at Knox High School. And going back, Angela, you've had some real success. What did you gain from being a high school athlete that has helped you be successful in life?
Gosh, there is a lot of things of experience that I was fortunate to have in my life with high school sports. I say the biggest thing is the adults, the coaching, the players I got to play with. They help to build character. They help to build mental strength. It just really, now that you get older, you're wiser, and you look back and you think, gosh, I wish I would have been more mature. I wish I would have been stronger mentally. At the time, though, I was really learning, and I was gaining so much from the experience. So many things.
And finally, for those young athletes out there who may be listening, what advice do you give that can help them as they try to be as successful as you were?
The biggest advice I had given my own players when I was coaching at the high school level, and even younger children, is play hard. Give it your all. You may not be the most talented person on the court. You may be the sixth person or down the line. Your team absolutely needs you. You play a vital role on your team no matter where you are on that. You could be the best cheerleader on the bench that any team could ever have, and that only inspires your team to work harder. It charges the team. It brings you even closer to victories, not even the big scoreboard victories, but even celebrating each other's individual victories. Something that maybe the 10th person on the team has been working on so hard, and they finally accomplished that goal. It's wonderful to celebrate that with them.
So win or lose, the games do matter.
Absolutely. Yes.
Angela, thank you so much for taking time with us. I know how busy you must be with a farm and teaching and 4 kids and lots of things going on in your life. So we really appreciate you taking time and visiting with us. And we want to wish you the best as you get back into that coaching career.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. And hey, good luck, Lady Redskins. Go get them.
Our guest on Where Are They Now has been Angela Neumann Draper, a 1996 graduate of Knox High School. Join us again next week on the Saturday Sports Line for Where Are They Now?
Where Are They Now? A look back at more than a half century of high school sports coverage on WKVI has been brought to you by Osborne's Mini Mart in Knox.
Join us each Saturday morning on WKVI for the Saturday Sports Line and worldwide on WKVI.com.
Time now for our Tyler Roth WKVI Athlete of the Week, given in memory of Tyler Roth, a 2001 graduate of Winamac High School who died as a result of an auto accident 1 week after his high school graduation. His legacy of hard work, outstanding citizenship, artistic success, and super athletic performance lives on with this award given every week to outstanding student athletes from the 8 schools in the Kankakee Valley. Today's award is brought to you by Web Printing and JT Shirt Shack in Winamac, and we'll tell you who's earned the Tyler Roth WKVI Athlete of the Week after this word from Web Printing.
Web Printing and JT Shirt Shack and signs of all kinds in Winamac is where all of your printing needs can be met. Whether it's paper, garments, or signs, Web Printing is your full-service printing solution. So if you're in need of embroidered or screen-printed garments, tickets or programs for your event, or documents for your business, Web Printing and JT Shirt Shack is the place to go. For the quickest service, best prices, and best quality, it's Web Printing and JT Shirt Shack in Winamac.
Our Tyler Roth WKVI Athlete of the Week for this week is Ella Dollahan, a junior gymnast at Knox Community High School. Ella had an amazing week for the Knox gymnastics team. Just last weekend, Ella was the Pirate Invitational all-around champion. She took first in bars and beam, second in vault, and fourth in floor. Then to finish off the week, she was the first all-around, achieving first in vault, bars, and floor, and fourth on beam. We congratulate Ella Dollahan of Knox Community High School, our Tyler Roth WKVI Athlete of the Week. Ella will receive a certificate, a history of the award, and a t-shirt commemorating her achievement, and will also be a future guest on the Saturday Sports Line. She will be eligible for our Tyler Roth WKVI Athlete of the Year award later this spring, which carries with it a plaque and a college scholarship, compliments of WKVI and the family of Tyler Roth. The Tyler Roth WKVI Athlete of the Week is brought to you by Web Printing and JT Shirt Shack in Winamac. Won't be the first time we've talked with Miss Dollahan. This is the third year in a row she is one of our Tyler Roth WKVI Athletes of the Week. I'll make sure to get with Miss Dollahan this week, as that is another Saturday Sports Line down and in the books, but stand by. Sectional 51 championship action is coming your way here on WKVI as the North Judson-San Lady Blue Jays take on the Elkhart Christian Eagles. We will be going live at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Central. That's right here on 99.3 FM and WKVI.com, streaming throughout the world. Until tonight, you enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'm Mitch Columbi. The tradition continues.
From the Pulaski Memorial Hospital studios of Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI, you've been listening to the Saturday Sports Line with Sports Director Mitch Columbi and Sports Analyst Chris McGowan.